Hey, Martin.
Hey, what's going on, Steve?
Not much.
You ready for some football?
Oh yeah, you got being up here in Canada, we've been having it since the beginning of May or whatever, but it just feels like that goes by so quick. And now here we are. Thursday night is soon upon us, so it's good.
It is. It is.
It comes quicker every year, I find, but that's how it goes.
I don't feel that way, man. I feel like after the Super Bowl, we're waiting forever, for
Hmm.
the NFL. I don't watch a ton of CFL. I have in the past.
Yeah.
Um, Very grateful for the CFL, what they do to get for the game. A lot of NFL greats have come out to CFL, a lot, so
Yeah.
I respect it. But now, man, after that Super Bowl, we have to wait that 172 days, and it's torture for a guy like me.
Yeah, I bet, right? Like when you were a football player, right? And then just kind of that adaptation and that sort of thing that probably definitely plays a part in that mentality. And that sort of thing. I mean, they're very big on the NFL combine, and then they go into the draft and well, they have the free agency before that and that sort of thing. And with NFL Network, it kind of brings you along.
But football now is 24/7, 365. It wasn't like that when I was a kid growing up. So
Right.
I was a kid who was, stuck on the magazines and the newspapers. I mean, I was a football fanatic when I was a kid. I was a nut about it. I was as all in as you could be, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's how you kind of got your love for the game and that sort of thing. You know, and then that I see that
Well,
Trojans flag on
yeah.
the back. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, growing up, I was like any kid who grew up with dad at home. I wanted to be like dad. Dad was the man, dad was the guy. He's who I looked up to. And in my case, my dad was a player for the New York Jets,
Mhm.
who, in the off season went to law school. So growing up, this is what I saw. This was the standard. And not even so much that he wanted me to do what he did, but just looking up at him and just seeing him successful, I realized that real success is the standard. Like a high level of success is what it's about. And I saw him train, I saw him work out in the off season. I saw how he was watching film during the season. And I got hooked on that. I got hooked on all of that stuff, man. And I grew my own love for the game, being able to, be led by and inspired by my father, which
Mhm.
was outstanding. But yeah, I was that kid in fifth grade. I knew all about the NFL Combine when I was in fifth grade. This is before it was even on TV, and I was a kid worrying about my 40-yard dash, back in, 1988. I'm worrying about my 40-yard dash and my bench press and my shuttle runs, things that other kids aren't even thinking about because they don't have that kind of information. But
Mhm.
my dad being involved in the NFL as a player, as an NFL agent, obviously I was privy to a lot of stuff that average people weren't, or average fans weren't. And I took it on very serious, the stress, the anxiety from a very young age. But it was also just wrapped in my love and my passion.
Well, I mean, yeah, because with football, there's always plays, right? Like with USC, like again, it didn't turn out the way you guys wanted in '06. Like that Rose Bowl was epic.
Yeah,
And there's those plays in there, right? The Jared Jackson, that sort of thing. Steve Smith on that team too, right? The Dwight Clark of '82 or whatever else, right? And it's like, yeah, those things are kind of etched in time, right? The Miracle at the Meadowlands, Herman Edwards, and trying to go back here a bit, but
yeah,
and the
yeah,
mirror,
yeah.
with Jumbo Elliott, right? The Miracle, and oh shit,
Right.
almost 25 years ago.
Yeah. Time flies.
It does.
Yeah.
So at USC there, you were coached by Paul Hackett, an inventor, I like to say, of the West Coast offense. And how?
You probably need to give that to Bill Walsh, to be honest with you.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Thank
Bill
you for the
Walsh.
correction.
Yeah, Hackett, he comes from that Walsh tree without
Mhm,
question. And yeah, at USC, my first 3 years, I was coached by John Robinson,
mhm.
who also coached the LA Rams, Eric Dickerson. And then my senior year at USC, I was coached by Paul Hackett, who was the offensive coordinator in KC for Montana and Rising and Marcus Allen and those guys. Yeah.
And so, what did you take at USC? What did you kind of major in? Did that help?
Yeah.
Did
So
that kind of translate to the field, or that sort of thing? If you know what I
I
mean?
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went to USC, I had two goals. One goal, graduate in 4 years.
Hmm.
Second goal, get to the NFL. That was the two goals that I focused on. And going into school, I was a history major. I thought at that time that I'd want to go to law school. My dad was big on history as a major, if that was the case, because of the reading and the writing and so on and so forth. And I got to the last semester of my senior year where I was getting ready for the pro day, our combine, and I had to write a 20-page paper, right? And I was like, I ain't got time for this. So I ended up changing my major just to avoid the 20-page paper. I ended up graduating with a degree in social science just because of that. And from there, I did go to law school. I didn't finish law school, but I went to law school at St. Thomas in Miami. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, it's the things that I did at USC, just the networking and the classes and things that I studied absolutely had an impact on what I would do later on in life, just in, aligning with certain people and getting into certain businesses that I had kind of foreseen. So yeah, it was definitely a connection between, what I studied and what I ended up getting into later on.
Right on. Uh, you did make your way to the NFL, being coached by the legendary Mike Ditka, and with the Saints there playing in New Orleans. So how was that kind of that experience? Jake Delhomme was there and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Revisiting
it was
that roster, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, I was an undrafted free agent. I thought there was a chance I would get drafted late in the maybe sixth, seventh round, just based on what teams were telling me. But ended up going undrafted, no problem, and had like 12 teams that wanted to sign me. 12 teams offered me contracts.
Mhm.
My agent at the time thought that the New Orleans Saints offered the best opportunity and had the most need at fullback, and also had the highest appreciation for what I was able to do as a primarily a run blocking fullback. That's what I did. I picked up the blitz, and I was good on blocking for the run.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I went to training camp with the Saints in '99. We had Jake Delhomme, we had Danny Werfel, we had Billy Joe Tolliver, we had Billy Joe Hobart. That was the year that we traded the entire draft to get Ricky Williams.
Williams.
So we had one draft pick and like 25 undrafted free agents trying to make a team, literally. And went out there. We had training camp in La Crosse, Wisconsin. The Saints traveled to Wisconsin for training camp back then. And we had 6 weeks of two-a-days and went through the fire, the preseason, all the practice games, and I was able to make the team initially as a practice squad player, and then I was on the practice squad for 6 weeks, and then my first real game was in week 7. I was activated against the New York Giants, playing in the Meadowlands, which was special for me because it's the same stadium my dad played in for 9 years when he was with the Jets.
Yeah.
So, to have another Marvin Powell in the Meadowlands was a pretty cool experience for me, and playing on that field was pretty cool. Just like it was knowing that he played at USC on the same practice field, on the same field in Coliseum. Those things were kind of special to me, and they still are. But yeah, I went to the Saints, and unfortunately, we didn't win a lot of games like that year. They ended up firing the coach. I got traded away to Green Bay, which I was happy about, to be honest with you. But yeah, I was in New Orleans in '99, and it was a great time. In regards to this, my first real job out of college, my first NFL experience, new city. It was all exciting. I just wish that we had won more games, but we did beat those Cowboys. We did
Yeah.
beat the Cowboys. We beat the Cowboys. Then they had Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. and those boys, they had them all. And the Saints pulled that out, and it was awesome being a part of that.
Was that the Christmas Eve game?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. I don't know how I pick it, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just kind
It
of
was
comes to
Christmas
me.
Eve. Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah, I
It was.
remember I remember watching that before I went to a Christmas program or something. But yeah, that was Dicka wasn't very happy. Or oh, sorry, Dicka was. The Cowboys were not happy.
No, no, that we were definitely underdogs. Nobody was believing in them Saints. I mean, we had the fans showing up with the bags over their head. Oh, we had all that. But we pulled it out.
Hmm.
You know, Dion was out there, Coach Prime was out there. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting looking all these years back of the players that were on those teams and that sort of thing. And what did like playing for the Saints mean? Like we all know what after Katrina, the first game back after that Monday night game, the block by Steve Gleason. Did you kind of feel that before, or has that been more of an emphasis after, and then they eventually won the Super Bowl?
I'll be honest, living in New Orleans before Katrina, I've had a different experience than anybody else who moves there after Katrina because the city is not the same. The city is up and running. I've been back many times. It's up and running. You go out there, you still get a good Louisiana French Quarter experience for sure.
Hmm.
But the city is not the same since Katrina, without question. There was tremendous pride. When I moved to Louisiana, one of the things I realized is these people love them Saints. They love the Saints. They have endured a lot of losing seasons, and they remain faithful and loyal. So I felt a lot of pride playing there just because of them and how they felt and the real culture of loving the Saints out there. And then obviously, playing for a Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame player like Iron Mike Ditka was very special. He took tremendous pride in the city. I mean, he really, had love for the city, and he spoke to us in a way where we should have gratitude for being here in this city for this organization, and he was right. So yeah, before Katrina hit, that city was alive, man. It was a very special experience, and I loved it. I loved that city. I did. Great food, great food. I mean, just amazing. Really, not just in New Orleans, but really South Louisiana, anything south of I-10. I mean, that stuff is good out there. But yeah, it was amazing, man. I had a great time out there, and I enjoyed that city.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Louisiana, maybe someday, and I'm glad they're back in the Super Bowl circuit, if you will. It's
Yeah,
it's good to see
they're
them
going
back.
to have a down year this year that they're not going to be in that conversation. But, since from the Drew Brees time,
Right.
from that move on, I mean, Drew's the best thing that happened to that city.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, and since then they've been relevant. Right now, they're still kind of riding that whole Drew Brees era. That's why people still talk about him to a degree. They have some good players out in Kamara and stuff, but they have a rookie quarterback. They got Spencer Rattler. It ain't looking good. I think the
Yeah,
bag
and maybe they should have
bags are being knocked
drafted
over the head.
Deion Sanders or his son there, who's with Cleveland,
Sure.
and probably will start by week 4. But I'm glad the city is back in in the Super Bowl circuit. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so, they did the whole tribute and everything else. And yeah, with Drew Brees, like he chose New Orleans to come, right? Like Miami was
Yeah.
on the was on the cusp, and him and Sean Payton were hand in hand there, and won that Super Bowl. And I mean, to think that they won that Super Bowl with all that happened is quite phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got leadership in there. They got some players in there, but without question, Drew Brees was the secret sauce. Think if Drew Brees doesn't hurt his shoulder in that Pro Bowl, he's a Miami Dolphin.
Yeah.
You know, and you wonder what would the Dolphins have done with Saban and a healthy Drew Brees. Um, yeah, but Drew he changed that whole franchise around, and he deserves that kind of credit and that kind of conversation
Yeah,
for
no
sure.
question. You maybe have answered a bit of this. Your favorite stadiums to play in? You mentioned the Meadowlands. But any
Yeah,
other stadiums that kind of stick out to you?
I'll tell you what, my first NFL action ever in an NFL stadium was a preseason game. It was the '99 Dolphins Marino was out there, Zach Thomas was out there, Jimmy Johnson was out there, Taylor was out there, Jason Taylor was out there, and Marino was a guy that I grew up watching as a kid. I was third, fourth, fifth grade watching this kid. My PJs, seriously on Sunday afternoons, and to walk out there into a stadium where I in a stadium where my dad played against Marino in that stadium. I
Mhm.
saw Marino have some epic games in that stadium. So for me to go out there and to be able to be in the Dolphin Stadium, that was pretty cool. You said it. Definitely playing in the Meadowlands was cool. The Superdome was a great experience. It is. The Superdome was a very special experience. So I really enjoyed that. Uh, but those would probably be the top three of the stadiums that I've played in. Meadowlands first, just because of the history. Definitely Dolphin Stadium, just because it was Marino out there, and I had watched so many epic Jet Dolphin games growing up, and the fact that I'm walking on the same grass as these men was something else. And then the Superdome as well, pretty cool experience.
Yeah, most definitely, right. We remember the fake spike on Monday Night Football, these sorts of things, right? So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're there, right? I've been to Arrowhead Stadium. We did the tour the day before the game. You're just like, holy cow! Like
Mhm.
as a fan, you're just like, I was there in '99. I remember Derek Thomas coming out, four
Right.
4 months before his passing, and then you're just sitting here, just like, holy smokes! Like the people that have played on this field, it's just,
Mhm.
it is breathtaking. It truly is. Um, Mentors, role models. You did mention of your late father who played for the Jets, but
Mhm.
anyone else that would kind of stick out to you?
Yeah, probably my Uncle Chuck. My Uncle Chuck is my dad's younger brother. They have the same mother, different fathers. My Uncle Chuck is Chucky Johnson. He was a All-American at a 71st High School in North Carolina, same high school as my dad. And then he went on to Auburn, and then he went on to play for Buddy Ryan in Phoenix for the Phoenix Cardinals. So just being 7 years older than me, he was really more like an older brother. He was somebody that I could really just look at up close. He's somebody who my dad would use as an example when talking to me about what it should look like and what I should be doing. So my Uncle Chuck was definitely a huge inspiration for me, still is. And then outside of that, I've been really fortunate to have some great coaches, youth coaches, high school coaches, college and pro. I played my middle school football at Woodland Middle School in East Meadow, New York. Barry Schmerler was my head coach there. Great guy, great leader, great mentor. And then in high school, Chick Epstein was a big deal to me. He was the late Chick Epstein, as well as my track coach, Scott King. And at USC, I had an abundance of just great mentors from Hugh Jackson, Charles White, Doug Smith. These are the guys that really molded me, Keith Burns. And then in the NFL, playing for the late Larry Kuharich, who was my running back coach, the guy taught me a lot of football, taught me a lot of football. I was always inspired by the things Coach Dickey would say. He was very emotional, very direct with that, and he kind of just let you know how he felt, but he meant it, and you felt that passion behind him. So I really enjoyed him. So when I look at my football journey, I look at the men who've impacted me. It's been many, without question,
Mhm.
and it's very thankful to have these men in my life.
Yeah, you know, because football's only a small part, right? So then after you probably do reconnect with these guys and that sort of thing, right? We all need people in place where we can go to and pick up the phone and that sort of thing, right? So that's definitely
Yeah, no, listen, young men need mentors. It's great. It's great if you have a dad. My dad encouraged me to have mentors in many different areas for different things. He was big on that. He had great mentors, including his own father, Sergeant Marvin Powell Sr. But mentors are big, and that's just all part of understanding leadership and why we're here, and what's the real purpose of this game that we play. What are we trying to do? At the youth level, football should be about leadership and teamwork and building up self-esteem and having an appreciation and having gratitude for the men around you, the people around you. And then from there, you really grow a passion for the game with your brothers, and you understand leadership as you go through that process. And You should walk away from the game a better person. If you've had good mentors, good coaching, you should walk away from football a better person without question, because the lessons that you learn there not just impact you on the field, but they impact you in regards to your character and who you are and who you want to be.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. I've gotten to meet a few of the Bombers outside of the game, right? And they're just normal dudes. I'm gonna have lunch with a former Blue Bomber next week, and it's just, yeah. I've had one. I had lunch with Gavin Walls, who played for the Bombers, and by the end of it, I'm like, "You played for the Bombers?" Like it's like it because the conversation goes way beyond what he did on the football field. It's like,
Mhm.
well, how's the family? Like, oh, the kids, that sort of thing. Hey, send your best to your wife. My wife had just had a minor surgery. So, okay, well, thanks, right? Like, it's just, oh, wow. That's, again, we all need each other, right? Because it represents
Mhm.
community and relationship. I keep it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good, good. So what keeps you busy now?
Tell you what, for the last 20 to 25 years, I was working with inventors, just helping them get their ideas off the ground. Recently, I've been doing a lot of podcast interviews, a lot of some guest appearances, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving this thing. So now what we're looking at is me launching my own podcast, which I think is going to happen here in the next couple of days, but I'm enjoying it. Outside of that, I have two amazing kids who are high level student athletes. So I'm having volleyball practice and basketball practice pretty much every night, which I love. So that's really where a lot of my attention goes. And obviously, with that said, I have a beautiful, lovely wife who's been with me. We've been together now over 20 years, 25 years total. And she's been great. So yeah, I'm between my passion, my new passion in podcasting, my kids, and my lovely wife. Trust me, I stay busy.
For sure. So what is your podcast gonna be about?
So, football obviously is close to my heart, and it's something
Mhm.
that I can talk about and feel good about. I think I have something to offer, something to give. And so we're looking at definitely college football. The question that I have for myself is, do I want to go broad and do college football, or do I want to focus on USC? Do I want to go broad and do NFL, or focus on the Jets? Do I want to get into political hot takes? Because I think I do. There's a lot going on in America right now, and I have a lot to say about that. I'm really just trying to work out what's the best way to go about this. Um, but yeah, I'm looking at football, some political hot takes.
Hey, that's good. And yeah, it's people ask me, "What's your podcast about?" I said, "Well, it's a bit of everything. I've had chaplains on, I've had former players, local
Yeah.
hockey players, but let's go." Uh, so it's just kind of one of these things. So I'm assuming the New York Jets are your favorite team.
Yeah, growing up as a kid, growing up in New York, growing up in East Meadow, New York, Nassau County, Long Island. My dad played for the Jets for 9 years, and he wasn't just a player; he was team MVP, five-time All-Pro, first-round draft pick, president of the Players Association, and four-time first-team All-Pro. So or I'm sorry, three-time first team All Pro, one-time second team All Pro. But that was a squad, that was a team. In the mid late 80s, the Jets were okay. They were competitive. They went to an AFC title game against the Dolphins where they actually wet the field so bad that it had impact with the Jets, quick guys, running backs and receivers. But no, I'm a Jet fan without question. That's my heart. It's my number two team next to this team right here. Listen, this is my first love. My wife and kids are my greatest love. That's how I put it. But but yeah, I'm a Jet fan without question, and I got love for the Saints just because they gave me that opportunity, and I spent some time there. And I was traded to the Green Bay Packers. Went up there, got injured, didn't last, but I love being a Lambeau. Lambeau was cool, man. And those are some real football fans up in Green Bay. Believe me. But with all that said, the Jets are my number one NFL team.
That's awesome. Yeah, with USC there, I got to ask you, with Reggie Bush there and Matt Leinart and all that, those were some very special teams and that sort of thing. And now as I'm about to ask the question, and I should know this, uh, did he get his Heisman back? I think he did. Did he not?
Yes.
Okay,
He got it. There was yeah, he got his husband back.
that's
He got
right.
his husband. And I was upset when he gave it up. I understand why he did, but at the end of the day, um, there was a witch hunt. It was a witch hunt against USC, kid you not, led by Paul D, the University of Miami. And they penalized us in a way where it took us almost 10 years to recover from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I kid you not. It had tremendous impact on us, that ruling, that decision, that came from the whole Reggie Bush situation. But it was a horrible time. The NC2A needs to be gone, to be, or they need to go ahead with this commission thing with Nick Saban, where he leads the show. He's supposed to lead some commission that the president is putting together, because the NC2A has been horrible for college sports, and I'm happy that we're getting away from them.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, that was. I don't think. Yeah, you're exaggerating. It's taken about 10 years to get back because, yeah, they were that powerhouse, and yeah, I mean, it's good to see them getting back on their feet and that sort of thing. I follow it kind of from a distance, and only so much time in the day, but
Yeah.
I'm. As I say, 20 years ago, that was huge. What about with the Jets? They're transitioning from now to Aaron Glenn, who played for the Jets, who was a defensive back in the time of the Bill Parcells era.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like AG. I
yeah,
like him. I like
good.
him because he's a Parcells guy, one.
Mhm.
So that means he's old school in a way that's good. And he's played the game, so he has that perspective that matters. He played at a high level. He was a Pro Bowl player. Um, and as a coach, he's proven himself. He's proven himself as an assistant coach. So this head coach position is warranted, justified. I am excited. We have a good young O line. We have a young quarterback who's shown some flashes. We have a real number one receiver. I think we have a couple running backs. We have a defensive line. We have linebacker. We have corner. So we stay healthy. We can compete, and I'm excited about it. I think AG is the guy to lead this young team, and I think he brings a lot to the table. I think he's hungry. He understands the culture. He understands the city. That stuff matters. So I'm optimistic. I'm looking at 10-7 for the New York Jets. Yeah, I said what I said.
Wow,
10-7.
I love it. I love it because I don't
Yeah.
think I don't I don't think the Bills are as good. I just don't. Like
They're
you've
not, but they have a difference maker at quarterback.
yeah.
He's a that kid's a difference maker. He's not, and that's what makes him elite. He's a
Right.
difference. He's a game changer. You know, he has some weapons. He has some weapons. They lost some pieces, but Josh Allen's he's the guy. I mean, him, Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson. That's the crew right now. That's like the super elite. Game changers.
Mhm.
He's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing, like I was just seeing on the ticker today, like Brees Hall from Wichita, when he ripped his knee a couple years ago, he could be on the up and up. They got Wilson there too, so yeah, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for the Jets, and after
Nah,
the Aaron Rodgers experiment, because
I hate that.
that's what that
I
was.
believed in that. I believed in that. I
Okay,
was brokenhearted when he went down
yeah.
on that fourth play. I mean, it broke my heart.
Mhm.
Um, the truth is, with Aaron that season, he's healthy. We're gonna win some games. We were
Mhm.
gonna win some games. If he's healthy that year, we're gonna win some games. And I don't think he really ever. Well, he recovered late in the second year. He looked good at the end of last season. He looked all right.
Yeah.
I think at his age, it's a lot to come off that injury. It's a lot. It's different when you're 22. He's like 40. So we'll see. We'll see. If he's healthy, if he has any setbacks, don't be surprised if he's out there in Pittsburgh balling. Do not be surprised.
Yep. I think
He has a little bit of gas in the tank. We saw it at the end of the season. If
mhm.
he has no setback with his Achilles, we'll see. He
Yeah.
didn't look horrible at the end. He didn't look horrible at all.
No,
So
no, he did not, right? I mean, he had his buddy Devontae Adams that helped him out for
yeah,
part of the part of the
they
season.
made a few plays.
Yeah.
We'll see.
hmm Yeah, because to me, it kind of flashed back to, Vinny Testaverde in the week one in '98 when he ripped his Achilles, and they tried to get to that point with Ray Lucas, and it just didn't materialize. So I
Yeah,
mean, the Jets
yeah,
have been, you know, I mean, I think they're closer than the Browns, but that goes without saying, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, yeah. The Browns need to settle. They need to settle at quarterback. Um, yeah. I don't know about them.
yeah, yeah, for sure. The
Yeah.
Browns are always easy comparable and that sort of thing. Did you have any superstitions as a player, right foot or left foot or anything like that?
The only thing that I wouldn't do is if we played an early game,
Hmm
I would never eat breakfast. Um, I wouldn't eat breakfast. Actually, even if we had a later game, I would have like a banana. If we played a 7 o'clock game, 8 o'clock game, I would go the entire day just on like water and a banana or what. I had this thing about having food in my stomach, which really isn't good,
Right.
but it was a mental thing, and I made it through okay. But other than that, no, no superstitions. I was a blocking fullback. I was a battering ram.
hmm
And regardless of left foot, right foot, if you don't go up in that hole, in that A gap with bad intentions, it's gonna be a bad day for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't no superstitions when that ball snap. You better get low and go, you
hmm
know? Yeah, yeah.
Most definitely.
Hmm.
Were you ever able to meet any broadcasters?
Yes. God, I met Jim Hill in LA, Los Angeles.
Hmm
I met a few guys. It's touched my mind, but
Yeah,
I've met a few guys. Um, yeah, I remember when we played somebody in New Orleans. John Madden was in the booth, and I didn't meet him, but he had passed on a question to me regarding my dad or something like that. Yeah, I thought that was cool that he even knew who I was.
yeah, yeah.
But no, nothing memorable.
No
Not
worries.
not like not like this, Steve. Not like meeting you, buddy. Okay. I
Thank you.
mean, this is it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
social media,
I've made it.
yeah.
I've made it. Mhm.
Well, I interviewed Troy Hambrick a few weeks ago, and he goes,
Running back for the Cowboys?
"Yeah, I had to look you up. I was wondering if you were going to be if you're the same Steve Smith that played for the Panthers." I think so.
That's funny.
There's a lot of us out there, so it's one of those things, and
Yeah, there are. USC has a Steve Smith. The
yes.
Carolina Panthers had a Steve Smith. You're a Steve Smith.
And Steve Smith, he won the Super Bowl with the Giants in Super Bowl 42.
There you go.
Yeah, so
He did.
I
He
know I'm
did.
talking Giants, but Jets. It's,
It's all good.
was it weird to? Did your father ever find it weird that to share in the same stadium?
I asked him about that. He didn't. That wasn't a thing to him. He was one of those guys that was like super focused on the most important thing. You know what I mean? So weather, stadium, home, away, that didn't matter to him
Yeah,
at all. He didn't care about that.
right.
Yeah. He
I
played.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, it was always one of those things where I'm like, as a fan, you're watching. It's like, hey, with a Sunday noon game in the Central Time Zone, Giants, and then okay, well then they have the stadium completely converted to the to the Jets on a Monday night game.
Yeah.
It's like, how do they do
Yeah.
this? I know somebody that was actually at the Giants Cowboys, and then on that Monday night game for Jets Bills,
Mm,
went to both of those games, and he goes, yeah, that's phenomenal how they turn that around.
that's cool.
And he also
Yeah.
said to me that New York is more, that stadium is more of a Jets stadium than a Giants stadium, which I
I
thought
would
was
I
interesting.
would Yeah, I don't know if I feel that way. I think I could argue against that actually,
Okay.
but I can say this: New York is definitely split between Jets and Giants.
Hmm.
In the last, I'm 49, in my entire lifetime, it's been Giant success. I've seen the Giants go to the Super Bowl 5 times in my life.
Right.
The Jets never came, well, they've come close, but no Super Bowls. So I would say that the Giants probably have the momentum of the city.
Hmm.
Uh, Jet fans are deep, and there are many of us. We are well represented. We fill up that stadium every single Sunday, regardless. And we're still riding, the effect of Joe Namath. And when we need something more recent, we need something now. I think AG gonna bring that to us. I
Well,
do.
when AG was hired, Joe Namath endorsed the hiring of Aaron Glenn. We can't wait. I wish the season would start next week. I can't wait. This is so great, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and then you got Fireman Ed too.
No, he's great. He's great for our culture. He's a huge part of the culture. And I've been in the stadium and seen him do his thing. It was pretty cool. And I hope he does it for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
he's a
Yeah,
big part of it. Yeah.
right. He kind of resigned from that. Now he's back at it. So it's
Right. Right. Yeah. No, he left and came back.
yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah. Right. That's cool.
Good, good. Was there anything else that you would like to cover or that I haven't hit on?
Steve, I'll tell you what, man, you and I need to connect throughout the season.
Hmm.
I'd love to do this again with you. We could do it following a Jets big win, a USC Trojan big win, a
For sure.
KC big win, and
Appreciate that.
we could definitely do that, man. But no, man, I love getting on talking sports,
Hmm.
and I'm looking forward to my own opportunities in this industry. So happy to do it with you. I'm on Facebook, Marvin Powell the third. Um, and whenever you want to do it again, man, just let me know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate the invitation to do it after a Jets. I know I got the Chiefs stuff in the back, but I do
All
have
good.
a Jets clock.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's all good. I'll tell you what, I got a couple of chief. One of my boys from SC, Larry Parker, he was a receiver in the late 90s, early 2000s,
yeah,
big
he was.
Chiefs guy.
Yeah.
When I took a recruiting trip to UCLA, Donnie Edwards was my host at UCLA. Great guy, really, really cool guy. Uh,
Wow.
Yeah. And my dad was an NFL agent, and Derek Thomas was one of the players he was highly recruiting, and he had a lot of really good things to say about them. And as I
Mm,
told you, Paul Hackett was the OC over there
right.
back in the day. And yeah, I guess so. I got a few people that I know connected to the city, and I have tremendous respect for Pat Mahomes, a class act. And he's in that category of like LeBron, Ali, Kobe. He's somebody who's very special that we get to watch.
Yeah, he is a generational talent, and
Mhm.
people can say that the NFL is different than it used to be. You can score more, but like defenses are adjusting. This isn't the fly-high offense of the Chiefs like it once was. Tyreek Hill's not there anymore. It's more dink and dunk. So it's been fascinating to watch, no doubt.
Well, the fact that this guy's been to the AFC title game every year he's been a starter,
So,
that says everything.
yeah.
That's I mean that's LeBron type stuff. That's why I
Mhm.
say he's in a special when you're dominating a whole conference,
Yeah.
that's that forget if you win the title. If you're dominating a conference for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, like Mahomes and LeBron, you're in a different conversation.
Yeah.
For you to be that big, I mean, you should be the MVP every year.
Right.
That when you're that caliber of player. So but listen, we'll talk about it, man. After a big win or whatever, any sports hot takes come up, give me a call. I'd love to do it again with you, Steve.
For sure. I appreciate it. And I know you're an hour ahead, so that's why I got you in the afternoon.
All good.
So yeah, I really do appreciate it, Marvin, and thanks for being flexible even today to come on a bit later and that sort of thing. It's much appreciated, and enjoy the NFL season. And as I always say to most everyone, God bless.
God bless you. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right,
Take care.
buddy.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.